so happened we were in a Mexican restaurant, and we wanted to salute Sal and the fact that we were here, and what was more fitting than to have tequila, So, and that's exactly what we did. But anyway, that's another story. We'll do another show on that. But in any event, we wanted to get some of your thoughts on the show. So I'm going to open up the phone line to see if anybody can call in. We were having some trouble calling out, but 845-228-8710 is the number. But before that, we're going to get Ryan Garcia on the show. He's coming over right now, so don't call in because I'm not going to answer your call. And we're going to get Ryan to sit down right now with us, and we will... Ryan Garcia joins us. You don't even need to put that on. This is just, unless this is just keeping the other sounds off, but appreciate you coming on. How you doing? We're so impressed with you. We watch you with your fast rise to the top. Tell us about it. I mean, what's going on in your mind?
I've always had a vision where I wanted to be at, and I just worked hard every day in every aspect, social media, boxing. I always had a dream and where I wanted to be, and I just went for it. So I'm just blessed to be here, and I got a lot more work to do, but hey, we're gonna enjoy it while we can right now.
Hey, they're talking about you, and they want you to fight this one and that one. It seems like maybe rushing you a little bit, because obviously a guy with your natural ability and talent, that you're trying to hone those skills.
Yeah.
Is there a lot of pressure on you to take that next step up, or do you pretty much have a plan where you're taking it as it comes?
I just trust in my team and the process. I'm not worried about anybody who's calling me out right now because I'm so far ahead. Of course they want to call me out. It's gonna help them out, but I'm not worried about anybody else right now. I'm worried about myself getting better as a fighter, and if a world title presents itself this year, me and my coach, we know what I can do in the ring, and I'll be ready for it.
There's, I've promoted and managed fighters, and there's always two things I've always said to a fighter. You never turn down a title fight, and you never turn down a huge payday, but in sometimes bigger paydays are available if you're patient. And we see a lot of natural ability with you, Ryan, and I'm sure you watch a lot of film of yourself, and when you and your team study that film, what do you see, and what does your team see specifically that you need to improve on in your mind?
In my mind, I just need to improve on, maybe, working on my defense, on pulling out, maybe I gotta, tuck in a little bit more, or things like that. But they're just minor adjustments, nothing that it would take a rocket scientist to figure out. Just little adjustments, getting better each year. I'm growing still as a person.
You're 20 years old. You're just a baby. I have a T-shirt that's older than you on right now.
I mean, come on, somebody throw me a bone. Yeah. Nah, I'm not worried about it.
The funny thing is that I hear people, he's so tall for the weight and everything else, and so they say it's easy to beat him. All you got to do is work the body. Well, I say to myself, well, you and your team know that. So obviously you work on defending that. Is there anything special that you do to try to, protect your body? Because, headhunters are headhunters, but body, man, you got to protect.
I definitely have a defense that Eddie has taught me. I'm not going to give out my exact positioning and what I do to get away from it, but just know they're going to have a hard time to get in on the inside. So they just have to run into a couple bombs before they get in there.
You just made a great segue for a question I wanted to ask you. When young fighters come up and they're successful knocking people out, like you are, 15 knockouts in your 18 professional fights, a lot of times they rely too much on that power, and it prevents them from developing the other skill sets that you obviously have. You just got to pull out of yourself. Do you do anything to try to keep you, level-headed in terms of just not looking for the destructive punch?
I just do what I do in the gym. If you have a routine and you work every day on your skills and what you have to do, you take it into the ring, and then it's like second nature. It's like breathing. So if I prepare myself correctly, I'll have no nerves in the ring. And if the knockout presents itself, there it is.
You know, one thing we were talking about earlier, and it's something I think I notice in your game, is that, you know, sometimes fighters that, especially when they're young, they'll get into a fight, and I've even heard it from trainers saying, hey, listen, we want to go a couple of rounds, and a fighter's, you know, basically screwing around and they're trying to get rounds in. You don't seem to do that. You seem to say, hey, the bell rings, my job is to win this fight as quickly as I can. If it goes the distance, fine. Is that your game plan? Is that like, you know, no other way to think of it? You don't want to pussyfoot around in there.
I mean, what is the point at the end of the day? I work my ass off in the gym working on my skills. I get in the ring to entertain people. I don't go in the ring to play games. If I catch him and I have him hurt, I'm not going to play around with him. I can't. It's there. Like, he has 8-ounce gloves like me. He could hit me with the shot and hurt me. So, you know, if I get him out of there in 1, 2, 3 rounds, so be it. I know the fans are happy. They love knockouts. I'm happy. I'm just on top of the world. I knocked this guy out. So I'm not. Yeah, I love to knock people out.
You know, one of the things is, you know, when taller fighters are used to fighting shorter fighters, they become very proficient in fighting a shorter guy. There's going to come a fight and a time when you're fighting someone taller than you. Is that something that you get to work on in the gym? Do you spar with people the same size as you?
Oh, definitely. I actually like sparring guys that are a little taller than me because my punches land there even quicker. You know, a short guy, he can get under you, you know? It's kind of hard. You got to position yourself a little lower. You have to, you know, catch him, you know, in between maybe because he's so short. So I like a guy that's a little my height because my punches get there like that.
So what's some of your goals now? You know, you got 18 fights under your belt. You're only 20 years old. It seems that you have a full future in front of you. What's the game plan for you? What's next?
The game plan is just keep improving my brand as a brand myself, and then to keep, you know, to keep pushing in the sport of boxing, to keep getting better, and then to obviously get bigger fights. I want to fight a guy in the top 10 my next fight. You know, if a vacant, because Mikey just vacated his title 135. If I could get anybody in the top 10 to fight me for the world title, so be it, baby.
Well, that's good to hear. When are we going to see you in the ring next?
June, July.
June or July?
June or July. You'll see me in one of those months.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope we can get you back on. You know, I always say this to people, and I've been doing this show for 15 years now, and, you know, I got to talk to Danny Garcia when he was young, and Andre Berto, etc. And I always say this. I always go, hey, when you become a champion, you're going to come back. And they always say, oh, yeah, we're going to come back. And then I got to go search him. Are you going to come back?
You won't have to search me. I'll be everywhere, and then you just got to say hi.
I will. Ryan, thank you very much, man. Good luck, my man. Ryan Garcia, young fighter to keep an eye